Alright, so I'm gonna be ranking the towers based on how cool I like them. I'm not gonna waste too much time, we're just gonna get into it really quick here. So, starting off with the Rangers, I think it's a middle ground tower, to be honest. I think it's pretty cool. The abilities are cool. Um, it's pretty cool, you know. I like the design of the tower, I like the way it looks. I don't like it too much, but I do like the way it looks. I like the voice lines as well. The voice lines are pretty cool. Keep in mind, I'm not gonna be ranking these towers based on strength, like mainly not on strength. I'm also gonna be ranking them based on how much fun I find these towers to be as well. So Rangers, I think it's a pretty good middle ground, and I think that's pretty fair. All right, I don't think they're really in the very cool section, so I'm just gonna put them here. The Paladins, again, the Holy Order, it's a pretty cool tower as well. And, again, I think it's in the middle ground. I think the thing that's holding it back is that it looks a little. It doesn't look too different from the previous tiers of barracks. So that does hold it back a little bit. Now, the Arcane Wizard, though. If you know me, you know that this is one of my favorite towers in Kingdom Rush 1. And I love this. I love this tower. This tower is so cool. I use it a lot. It's really fun. The Big Bertha? I guess it's I mean, it's a pretty cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's all right. I think the problem I have with this tower is that it just looks a little bit too basic, in my opinion. I don't know how to explain that really, but it just I don't know. Like it doesn't look that different. Again, it's the same problem with the paladins. They just look a little bit too similar to the previous tiers. Now we got the barbarian hole, which I mean, it's good and awesome. I like it. I like the tower. I do like it. I think I'm probably like if I'm gonna put the paladins in this tier, I probably have to put the barbarians here as well. Musketeers again, middle ground. I could put it in here though because I do like the voice lines. All right, fine. We could put it here because I really do like the musketeers. I do like the voice lines. I like the way they look. They are pretty strong as well, but we're not really going to be ranking these towers based on strength. If we're actually ranking these towers when it comes to like actual strength and gameplay, this would be completely different. Obviously, the sorcerer. Now, I don't find the sorcerer to be as cool as the arcane. I just don't. So I'm sorry, sorcerer fans. The Tesla. It's pretty cool, but it's not one of my favorite towers, alright? It's really not one of my favorites. Like, yeah, I do find it pretty cool and pretty fun to use. It's pretty much a must use, to be honest, but, like, I don't really enjoy it as much as other towers, like, to be honest with you. Like, it's kind of cool. It's just kind of cool. Like, it's good enough to be in very cool ones. Now, Crossbow Fort, again, I think it's middle ground. I think it's very similar to the Rangers. In my opinion, it could be a little bit better though, so I'm gonna put it up there. The Assassins. The Assassins are a little bit bland in my opinion. They don't really look that nice. Like I don't know. I think the tower looks a little bit weird. The voice lines are a little bit on the mediocre side as well. I don't know. It's just my opinion, by the way. Um, I don't really find them to be that cool. They're kind of fun, I guess, but that's about it, really. So I guess that's fine. Archmage. I'm gonna put Archmage here. I really like Archmage. I really, really like Archmage. The same with the Dwarf. I think the Dwarf probably goes here as well. And now the Axe Throwers, starting to look a little shitty. I don't like them. Now, I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but I don't like these towers. I don't really like the way they look. I do use them sometimes, but and they can be fun, sure, and they are pretty strong. But I don't find them that fun to use. I really don't find them that fun to use. I don't find them that cool either, to be honest with you. Um, and we got the Templars here. I guess it's I mean, I don't know. It could be in good and awesome, or it could be I guess it's I tier. To be fair though, I don't like them as much as the Paladins, so I'm just gonna put them there. Now the Necromancer. It's one. The Necromancer is definitely one of those towers that has it has caused a lot of problems, but I'm gonna put it in very cool. All right, I like the way it looks. I do like the voice lines. This is pretty cool, but it's not one of my favorites. It's just not. Now, Battle Mecha, I mean, you already know where this is going. I don't. Do I even have to explain this one? I don't have to. Arcane Archers, they're actually really cool. I used to not like these towers, but after actually like looking through them a little bit more, I actually really like these. So I'm probably going to yeah, I'm probably gonna put them this high up. To be honest with you, Blade Singers, they're good and awesome. They're kind of the middle ground. To be honest with you, this one's really cool. I forgot the name. I don't know why. I always forget the name of this one, but this one is a pretty cool one. I like the aesthetic of it. I really like the fact that the mage is sitting on like floating rocks. I think that's a pretty cool idea for a tower. The Arc Druid Henge, it's actual shit. It's actual shit, and this could be the only tower that I put in actual shit because, to be honest, there really aren't that many towers that I actually hate. Like there really aren't that many towers that I just dislike that much. The Arc Druid Henge though is definitely it's definitely one of them. It's definitely one of them. I don't like this thing at all. The longbows though, they're good and awesome. Like again, I think it's middle ground here. Forest Keepers are really cool, really cool. I like the fact that we have like completely different creatures just fighting on your side. I think that's a pretty cool idea. The tower itself looks cool. The voice lines are pretty cool. I mean, what more could you want? And the tower is pretty fun as well. It's fun to use. Now, High Elven Mage, I guess it's aight. It's nothing special. The Weirdwood is like really cool. I really like that one. Really like that one. So that was basically kind of a speed run of the original trilogy towers. Now we move on to the Vengeance towers, which, man, if you know me, you know that I'm gonna be ranking a lot of these very highly. So when it comes to the Shadow Archers, man, I really love the Shadow Archers. I just love the aesthetic. I love the voice lines. I love the way it looks. I just like the idea. I really like the idea of this tower. It's so fun to use as well. Like, yeah, it may not be the greatest towers, but it's fun to use. I love it. The Orc Warrior, then, like, I guess it's nothing special. The same thing goes for the Rocket Riders as well. But when it comes to the Infernal Mage, it's very cool. It's very cool. I love this one. Dark Knight, though, the Dark Knights, it is definitely one of my favorite towers in the entire series. I really like this thing. I like the way it looks. I love the voice lines. Like, I don't know. It's such a cool looking tower. It's so cool looking. The Furnace, the Furnace, like, I don't like it as much as the Dwarf, but I think it's pretty aight. It's a pretty aight one. Um, the Mausoleum, I do like. Okay, I'm probably gonna put Mausoleum up here as well, just because I like the idea of this tower. I like that it's just a house, like a haunted house, and you summon gargoyles from it. Like it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool idea. I love the way it looks too. I love the way it plays. It's a pretty fun tower to use. There are so many things you can do with that tower. I really like it. Now, when it comes to Gobblerangs, probably put them there. I don't see any other place that they could be in, to be honest with you. Bone Flingers. To be honest, Bone Flingers are some of my favorite towers just because of their voice lines. Like, they have some of the coolest puns ever. Like, yeah, I mean, they can get pretty old, but, like, I don't know, I really like them. I really like the Bone Flingers. It's just, there's something about them that I really like. Now, the Elite Harassers, I think, are a little bit lame, to be honest with you. Like, they're a little bit lame. I don't know. It's starting to look a little shitty. I don't like the Elite Harassers that much. I don't like, I get that they're really powerful, but again, we're not ranking this list based on power. We're ranking it based on how much I like these towers, how much I like to use them, how much I think they're cool. And the Elite Harassers they're just not, they're not really there, I don't know. They're really not there. Now, let's see what else we can have here. Okay, we've got the Orc Shaman. Now, personally, I like the way it attacks. I think the attack animation is pretty cool. I like the idea of it. And at the same time, this tower is like it's pretty cool looking. But the voice lines are okay. It's nothing great. Now, the Grim Cemetery, I just love the idea of this tower, and the voice lines are great. Like I really, and this tower is really fun to use as well. Like I really like this tower. This tower is pretty cool. The same thing. The same thing goes for the Rotten Forest. I like the Rotten Forest for the same reasons that I like the Grim Cemetery. I think that's probably the most simple way to explain it. Now, the Ignis Altar are. This is also one of those towers that I just really like. One of the reasons is because of the voice lines. The voice lines are pretty cool for this one. I really like this one. Now, Deep Devil's Reef, I think it goes here. Good and awesome. I think it goes here. Now the Shaolin temples, they're pretty cool looking. All right, like you can't argue with that. Now Blazing Gem, I don't even have to explain this one. Blazing Gem is like one of my favorite towers in the entire series. I love everything about it. I love everything about it. I glaze the Blazing Gem. Wicked Sisters, again, like same thing. Maybe not on the same level as the Blazing Gem. Like, yeah, maybe not on the same level as the Blazing Gem, but I like this tower as well. I think it's pretty cool. The voice lines are cool. It's a very fun tower. The tower is really fun. The tower is really fun. The Swamp Thing, I think Swamp Thing is a pretty fun tower as well. Is it one of my favorites, though? I don't know. Probably not. Probably not. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's probably not one of my favorites. Goblin War Zeppelin. I've always, for some reason, I don't know why, but I've always loved the Goblin War Zeppelin when I was a kid. I don't know why. It's just, they've always appealed to me. And it's the same thing here. I really, really love the Goblin War Zeppelins. They're one of my favorite towers. Sandworm Hollow, again, same thing. This is probably one of the coolest towers in the entire series. I love this tower. Like, Vengeance has so many cool towers that I really love. But this tower is fine. The Ogre Shipwreck. It's one of the newest towers in the game. It's a pretty cool one. I don't think it's my favorite, but I like it. Now, the Royal Archers. Royal Archers, where would you go? I guess it's I. I don't really find these things to be that interesting. It's just a regular tower. It's a regular old tower with nothing outstanding to it, so I guess it's I. The Paladin Covenant. If I'm gonna put the other Paladin Covenant in here, then I should probably put this one here as well. Just to keep it fair. Arcane Wizard here now. If I really love the Arcane Wizard up here, this one is going to be there as well. And I think this one is a massive visual improvement. This one is a way better improvement than this one. The Tri-Cannon. Tri-Cannon is not one of my favorite towers, to be honest with you. It really isn't one of my favorites, but I really like the way it looks, and I think it's a pretty fun tower as well. It plays really fun. So, I think it deserves a very cool. Ballista. Ballista's one of my favorite towers in Alliance. In my opinion, I think Ballista is probably my favorite tower in Alliance, like hands down. I love the concept. I like the idea. I love the voice lines. I like the way it looks as well. Like, it's really cool. Arborean Emissary. It's not really one of my most favorite. It really isn't one of my most favorites, but I like it. It's okay. It's okay. Demon Pits. Demon Pits are also pretty cool. I love these ones. I love these ones. These ones are pretty funny. I like them. Dwarven Flamespitter. It's kind of forgettable to me. It's kind of a forgettable tower. I don't really like it that much. Like, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't like this tower that much. It could have been way better. I don't really enjoy using it. I don't like it. It's like it's fine. It's a fine tower. Nothing too special about it. Rocket Gunners. Rocket Gunners are really cool, man. They're really cool. Honestly, it feels like it really does feel like a contender for one of my favorite towers. I don't know if it should be up there though. This one though, Eldritch Channeler. I really like this one. It's also one of my favorites. Battle Brewmasters. It's kind of cool, but I don't think I like it as much as the other towers, in my opinion. Again, the same thing goes for Dune Sentinels. Like, again, they look cool, but... And they're pretty fun to use as well. But I don't really think I like them as much as the other ones. Elven Stargazers, on the other hand. This was actually the tower that I was mostly anticipating in Alliance. Before Alliance released, this was the tower that I was actually waiting for the most. When I first saw this tower, this was my favorite one, and I really like this one. Necromancer. I think it's a visual improvement to the original Necromancer, but again, it's really not one of my favorites. Grimwraiths are hands down one of my favorites. There's just no better way about it. This is probably one of the most fun towers in the entire series, and it looks cool, and the voice lines are cool, and it has a fun playstyle. Like, what more could you want from a tower? Literally. Last but certainly not least, we have the Twilight Longbows, which is a tower that I really like. I really, really like this one. And this is probably it. I don't think I'm going to be changing much from this. I don't think I'm going to be changing much from this. I do really like the way I did this. We got two towers that are not really that cool, and one that I actually really dislike, but that's fine. I think most of these towers are really cool, and I really do like them. So, there you go. What do you think? What do you think about this list?